Hi, my name is Dr. Meghan Dukes Rodriguez, and my client today is Briana Tracy. That's Briana Tracy. Briana is 35 years old. The differential diagnosis is binge eating disorder. The primary diagnostic features of binge eating disorder consist of binge eating disorder episodes involving eating rapidly, large amounts of food to the point of being uncomfortably full. Experiencing feelings of embarrassment or shame regarding one's binging or oneself, and a sense that one is out of control regarding their eating behavior. Now for Briana's story. Briana Tracy, again, is 35 years old. She is single and independent. She is also highly accomplished for a person of her age. She has already sold several screenplays, of which all have made it into the movies for television. She just signed a 5-year, 3-screenplay contract with Lifetime TV for a substantial amount of money. Briana has always been a high achiever, and so no one in her family or friends is surprised to see Briana become so successful at such a young age. Briana appears to most people like she loves her life. She tells everyone that she loves being single and that she never wants to get married or have children. Briana, however, harbors a secret, and it is this secret that she is seeking psychological help for. Even though she has had absolute control of most everything in her life, there is one area of Briana's life that she has no control over, namely her eating behavior. She also confides that she would love to meet a nice guy and fall in love, get married, and have some babies, but she knows that no one will ever love her with a body like hers, so she tells everyone that these things don't matter to her. Briana arrives on time for her appointment. She is precisely and fashionably dressed and well-groomed. Briana is definitely overweight, but she doesn't know by how much because she is too fearful to weigh herself. Her pristine appearance is in stark contrast to her emotional state. Briana is quite distressed as she shares with the therapist the details of her problem. She explains that her first thought every morning on awakening is of food. She immediately begins chastising herself for being so obsessed with food and resolutely recommits that this day will be different. She will have control over her eating. She eats a normal-sized breakfast that is healthy. Throughout her workday, she continually battles against thoughts of food. She eats a healthy and normal-sized lunch. The most challenging time of Briana's day is around 3 o'clock p.m. This is when she typically has her snack time, which usually consists of something that is sugary and high in fat. This triggers an unstoppable cascade of thoughts and urges that inevitably leads her to binge. She leaves the office between 5 and 6 o'clock p.m. and immediately drives to the first fast food restaurant she sees. She always uses a drive-thru, and she never goes to the same fast food restaurants 2 days in a row. She places her order for what would be a normal-sized meal. She pulls into a parking space where no one can see her, and she promptly devours the order. The normal-sized order. She then drives to the second fast food restaurant and uses the drive-thru. She places a normal-sized order, parks her car where no one can see her, and inhales the food, and then moves on to the third fast food restaurant. She continues to do this until she is so stuffed that she feels like she's going to explode. The number of stops at fast food restaurants varies from episode to episode, but she averages 4 to 5 fast food stops per episode. Briana does not engage in any behaviors that would attempt to undo the effects of her binges. She states wistfully that she wishes she had it in her to either vomit or compulsively exercise, but she hates vomiting and she hates exercising, so she adamantly states that diets don't work for her. She explains that she has always had food issues, but once she started going to college, her binge eating worsened. So she thinks this increase was due to both stress academically and socially that led her to use eating as a coping mechanism. Briana does not binge eat every day. She states, if I binged eat every day, I'd be as big as a house. She does, however, binge every week, usually 2 to 3 times each week. She notes that when things are going good, she'll get by with only 1 binge week per week. But then when stress comes, I'm back to 2 to 3 times a week. With the new contract, I'm really stressed, and for the first time ever, I binged 5 times in 1 week. That scared me, and I decided that I've got to get a handle on this. Briana also explains that she is in the entertainment industry, and so there is no shortage of beautiful, thin, and well put together women. She constantly feels like she is being judged for her size. Now that she has reached this level of success, she will have to go to black tie events and red carpet events, which she is totally dreading. She feels so much shame regarding the shape of her body. When she feels shame, all she wants to do is eat, which results in weight gain and the reinforcement of her shame, which then makes her want to eat some more. And the unending cycle has worn her down, and she is desperate to do whatever she can do to stop this cycle. Multi-axial diagnosis. Axis 1, binge eating disorder. Axis 2, none. Axis 3, overweight. Axis 4, work stress, new job offer. Axis 5, the GAF is 75. There are 4 theoretical perspectives. First one is the biological perspective. This client's symptoms may have a genetic predisposition that may contribute to a higher risk of developing binge eating disorder. The client may have deficits in the neurotransmitter serotonin, which has been linked to the compulsive behavior. The client's symptoms may be because the neurotransmitter dopamine is secreted when individuals compulsively eat, resulting in feelings of pleasure, thereby counteracting some of the negative emotions that precede a binge eating episode. It has also been theorized that abnormalities in the hunger center located in the hypothalamus may result in incorrect messages being sent regarding her hunger and fullness. Perspective number 2, the cognitive perspective. This client's self-critical and negative thought patterns regarding body and weight and shape may contribute to the feelings of depression and low self-esteem that often accompany compulsive eating. Binging is a maladaptive response to maladaptive thinking. A cycle of self-critical and shaming thoughts lead to feelings of depression and low self-esteem. Individuals with this disorder have difficulty dealing with these negative emotions, which result in an urge to binge eat. Binge eating temporarily lessens and eliminates these negative feelings. However, very soon thereafter, the good feelings dissipate only to be replaced by guilt, shame, depression, and low self-esteem, and the cycle continues. This cycle is very similar to Ellis's ABCD model, where there is an activating event that is negative thoughts and feelings associated with one's body weight or shape. The belief that results from this activating event is one of worthlessness, which leads to the consequence of feeling depressed and the choices to deal with the depression by binge eating. The next perspective is the sociocultural perspective. This client may have several societal factors that contribute to increase of developing this disorder. The cultural emphasis on thinness as the ideal standard of beauty places undue pressure, particularly on girls and women, to be thin. This standard is communicated by way of numerous media outlets, including television, magazines, billboards, the internet, and movies. The onslaught of media messages that implicitly communicate women should feel dissatisfied with their body contributes to the overly harsh, self-critical dialogue common among women with the binge eating disorder. Combine this with the ever-ready availability of the numerous fast food restaurants located practically on every street corner, and binge eating is made all that much easier. The last perspective today is the behavioral perspective. This client suffers from a faulty learning experience. Operant conditioning plays a role. When the client binges, she feels good, which is positively reinforced. Negative reinforcement also plays a role as the client eats to alleviate feelings of stress. This is a learned behavior and a coping mechanism. This client is operantly conditioned by binge eating and positively reinforced when she eats to feel good, and negatively reinforced because it alleviates her stress and tension. Thank you.